Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Celebrity Predictions, and today we're going to take a look into Rosé. Rosé is from Blackpink. Now, apparently, she was spotted in Los Angeles. She was spotted sitting down with maybe a record executive or a label owner. So the rumor has it that she signed with somebody, okay? Now, intuitively, I feel like she's label shopping I feel like she didn't sign anything just yet, but she is negotiating and shopping around with labels, okay? And I feel like she still has some loose ends to tie up, maybe in South Korea or maybe to do with YG Entertainment. So something is not done before she can actually move forward and actually sign with a new label. But yes, I feel like she is shopping around deals, shopping around record companies and or record labels. And also intuitively, I feel like there is some type of bravery that is going on with her, bravery that's happening to her. And bravery is like walking in the dark, walking in the dark with no illumination, with no flashlight, and just walking in the dark. But she will find her way out of the dark, okay, through bravery. So now let's pull one card from the index card before I do her full reading. So what's coming up next? What is coming up next for Rosé? She is from the group Blackpink. What is coming up next for Rosé? Rosé of Blackpink. What's coming up next for her? We have the card of Mana Nui. And Mana Nui is power. Mana Nui is creative power and even authority. Okay, so now let's get more information and clarify of what this card is actually really talking about. So, creative power, creative power. So that's what's coming up next for her. Okay, she's going to be given creative freedom in anything that she does next in her life and even in her career. Okay. Mm. So we have the sun, but the sun is in reverse. Okay. And most times, whenever I see the sun, whether the sun is in reverse or upright, to me, it feels like solo energy. Okay, so I've been picking up this energy for all of Blackpink members so far, and I do believe that Rose really wants to go solo. Okay, so I don't know how you fans feel about members going solo, but she feels like to me that she wants to go solo. And the sun in reverse sometimes turns into the moon, so it can become the moon. Okay, but you must remember the moon is only going to give us a little bit of illumination, right? So she cannot fully see. But one thing about the moon and the sun is that the sun will shine once again, right? 24 hours, right? So if she is going through any illusions right now within her career or with anything that she wants to do, I feel like the sun is going to shine again for her because the sun is in reverse, which means the sun is setting. but soon I feel like the sun will rise for her. Okay? And I don't know what she's got going on in her brain, but you can expect something very creative coming from her next. Okay? So let's clarify the sun in reverse one more time before we move forward. We have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is in reverse. So the Five of Cups in reverse, it can represent new alliances. Okay. So, like I said, she's going to be working with people, but these people are new. She's never worked with these types of people before. So it's new alliances that she can be working with. Okay. So now it's definitely something happening for her that's new, that's maybe solo, working with people she's never worked with before. Um, the Five of Cups can also represent hope. So maybe she's hoping uh, to land something that would be maybe something or somewhere that she really wants to be with. It is also a card about recovery, right? Because when the Five of Cups is upright, there's no recovery. All we have is sadness and regrets. But it's in reverse. So she is far beyond regrets and sadness. Okay? She's ready to show us what she can do creatively. So something is definitely recovering from her, for her. And because she's coming from a major group who has sold millions and who still has a lot of millions of followers, she cannot just accept anything. It must be something that is of her worth. Okay, so she will not be signing anything or accepting anything that isn't of her level of fame. Okay. I also feel like there is something inside of her that is erupting or will soon be erupting in her career. And when I say erupting, I mean that in a good way. So there is fire that is bubbling up for her that will be soon be overflowing and erupting. There's something to do with her career and her creative self. Okay, so now we're going to do a full reading on her. We're going to do 10 cards for Rosé. This is a general reading, so I want the cards to show me what's next, what's coming up for her. What is next for Rosé that the fans can expect? What's coming up next for Rosé? Her current situation? Superstar. So she's pulling the card as the superstar as her very first card, which is in her current situation. And of course, I will always clarify what is she having difficulties with? We have the judge and courtroom. Okay. What is her advice in this reading? We have family. Show me something about her recent past. Okay, so we have freedom. And what does she wish to achieve? We have travel. What is coming up for her in her possible future? We have sick or death. Show me something about Rose, genuine love, her inner emotions, network, and collaborations. The next card is following God's orders. This card represents either what she doesn't want or her hopes and her fears. And what is her final outcome in this reading? Here we have jail. Okay? Don't be scared of the jail card. That's why we always have to clarify because there's a lot of meanings to one card. The jail card, it can be like finding something and sticking with something. Okay. So she will be imprisoning herself or some kind of imprisonment, but she's doing that. It's like being focused on something and really working on something, you know? She's not going to be here. She's not going to be there. She's just going to stick to one thing and she's going to plot herself on one thing and stick to it. That's what the jail card means. It's like locking yourself in a bedroom and just working very hard on something and not being bothered, not wanting to be interrupted, just locking herself in a room and really focusing on whatever she's focused on. Okay, so let's clarify what is a superstar card? Oh my gosh. So she's an Aquarius and she pulled the star card, and the star card is upright. So we have both star cards, two star cards together. Hmm. So there is an opportunity for her. Actually, there is many opportunities for her as of now. As I am recording this and as I'm doing the reading, there is maybe a few options that she has for her on the table. Okay? Because the star card is all about opportunities. It's all about her dreams coming true, making her dreams come true, whether she's doing it on her own or whether she's being given an opportunity to show her starlight, right? The star card can represent faith and hope and also healing and rejuvenation. Um, it feels like she could be doing things on her own as of right now. So if she's shopping around with different labels, it's because she needs maybe that extra push, the extra boost, or the extra help here, is what I'm seeing. So she's definitely a star, but there is something about looking at this card is that she will be showcasing herself. Okay. This is almost to me like some kind of maybe audition. Maybe she is going on an audition as of now, showcasing her talent, singing, dancing. But I get an audition. So she's auditioning for something right now. If it's not an audition, it just feels like she's showcasing her talent to maybe many different labels, many different people. But I get an audition feeling. Okay. And so now her second card here is the judge or the courtroom. And that is her challenge. That is what's challenging her. That is what's giving her some kind of difficulty. So let's clarify. So we have the world, and the world is upright. Hmm. So what I see in these two cards, I feel like, okay, so she is auditioning, right? And she has people who are maybe judging her or writing down her scores. It's almost like starting all over again where you have to audition for something and there's people who is giving you some scores here. So they're watching her, giving her scores. And then we have the world card here, which represents everything that she has worked for is coming together, but it's in her second placement. So she's doing the work, she's putting in the work and perfecting. her success. So again, let's go back to auditioning. I just keep seeing her auditioning and being judged. The world card is like some kind of accomplishment, but it's in her second place. So she has yet to be judged by the people who are judging her. It's like taking a test, but you don't get your you don't get your test results until maybe the end of the audition, or maybe a few days or a few weeks later. Okay, so she's waiting back for her test scores. It's almost like that. It feels like that. Now her advice here is, we have the card about family. What is this about? Okay, so the two of cups is upright. So I feel like these two cards is giving her advice on finding a home that feels like family. Okay, so she should not sign with just anybody or anything. It has to, she has to feel like the record label, the people who work at the record label, it feels like family and it feels like friendships. So, for example, if she is out there shopping for labels in the United States and she doesn't feel like they're family, then what do you do next? You go back to a place where you did once feel like a family. Okay? And that's what the world card and the star card, it can also be about. If you don't find your family in a new label, then consider going back to a place where you did feel like family. Okay? But if you do find your family in a new label, then that's good for her. Good for her. Then she can continue her on her solo journey. But if not, go back. Go back to Blackpink, is what I'm trying to say. And also with the family card here and the Two of Cups, it's all about balance, right? Make sure that you are balancing your professional life along with your family. Make sure you are able to still see and communicate with your family, because everything is just not about work. Okay, so make sure you don't sign anything or get involved with anything that's going to keep you in the office, instead of balancing out family, work, and playtime. Okay, make sure that you have room for your friends, your family, and anything leisure. We don't want you to be locked up in a studio and in front of the camera 24/7, where it keeps you away from your safe place and your safe haven, which is family and friendships. So now let's talk about her next card here. We have freedom. So this card here represents, it represents something that happened, already happened in her recent past, which is freedom. And here you see the American eagle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is three American eagles on this card here. So maybe she found freedom in her career in the United States of America, because the eagle does represent America, right? So now let's clarify more about this freedom card here. Yes, we have the Eight of Swords. So she's no longer tied down here, right? Can you see that? You see a woman who's tied down. She's also blindfolded. So she found freedom recently to do and go wherever she wants to. So now that the bird has left the nest, right? Now that the bird has flown and now the bird is free, she's no longer tied down. Nobody's making any decisions for her. Nobody's telling her what to do or where to go. That now becomes fear, right? it becomes fear. So now that you have freedom to fly and go wherever you want, it becomes a scary place to be open, to be in the world, right? We have the world card here. So the Eight of Swords, it can be like a card about fear because now the bird is free. The bird is no longer in the cage. She's flown free. So now she has to face this big world and look for something and fly and go somewhere new, which can be very fearful for her or anybody, right? So when an animal has been in captivity, right? And for some way, somehow, the animal is now free and loose, and now they have this free open world. Where does she go, and what do I do? Where do I go? It can be very fearful. It is like losing a dog, right? Have anybody have lost a dog where the dog got loose? He's now in this free world, but now who's going to feed the dog when the dog has been fed for many, many years from the pet owner? And now the dog is lost, and now how is he going to find food, right? So that's the kind of fear that I feel like she may be going through recently. The Ten of Cups in reverse with the travel card here, it's almost like she can go wherever she wants to now. She can part ways. She is like a solo traveler. I know that the Ten of Cups upright is like a family card, but now she is basically living in like an airport and just traveling and going wherever she wants to. And she doesn't have the extra baggage along with her. So it's like a dissipation from people, from companies. And then something about this card here, it just seems so very peaceful to me. So maybe she also wants to achieve, just nice peace and quiet. Nice peace and quiet, just her being a solo traveler. She doesn't have that extra baggage. And the only baggage that she has is the one that she will need to take care of herself and to further her career. She has no extra baggage that is tagging along. She only has what she needs to further herself, is what I feel that she wishes and wants to achieve. And what I also see is that she really does not want to be with YG Entertainment anymore. Okay? Because the Ten of Cups is in reverse in her fifth place, which is I want to get away. I want to get away from all the noise and all of the unnecessary excess weight and unnecessary excess baggage. Okay. So she wants to get away from YG Entertainment. It's an old energy, it's stale, and she just wants to become a solo traveler. And which is why let's talk about her next card here. So her next card is we have sick and we have death, meaning for her possible future, there will be some kind of transition happening for her. Okay. Clarify this card here. So we have the King of Swords. King of Swords, but he's in reverse. Okay, so in her possible future, I feel like looking at the sick and death card here with the King of Swords in reverse. And I feel like the King of Swords is someone, okay? I feel like this someone is kind of like calling her to come back, okay? But she's refusing to come back, which is why we have the death card here. She is refusing. So somebody could be a male figure in her life, could be a boss, who is trying to maybe get her to, I guess, come back to maybe South Korea, or maybe come back somewhere to maybe YG Entertainment. But whoever this person is, she does not want to come back. She is ending something. Okay. It's almost like somebody is, it's, it's almost like somebody is trying to, is telling her, let me write your future for you. I can write you a good book, right? And she's telling him, no, I have to write my own book. I have to rewrite my future here. Yes, we have the hermit, and the hermit is upright. He's not reversed. So she has to follow her own path, right? And that is exactly what the hermit does. He goes on a path and he walks his path by himself with nobody around. And also the hermit is it's like solitude, right? Going into solitude. So doing things on her own, illuminating her own path. It's all about divine inspiration and enlightenment. So she's definitely cutting people off, especially one that used to write her story. She's no longer going to need him to write her story because she's going to now rewrite her own story. So that's what's happening for her in her possible future. Remember, her possible future can always change. It's just a possibility. It's not set in stone. Now, the next card we have here is genuine love. And this card here represents who she is in this reading, a genuine, loving person. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse, which is not walking away, right? When the Eight of Cups is upright, this person is changing their route, changing their emotions, their feelings. But it came out in reverse. So she's definitely someone who is very genuine. And she's not a person that switches, right? You will always get the same energy from her. She's not the type to switch up her energy and be like a backstabber. So when the Eight of Cups is in reverse, it is definitely staying put, okay? Not walking away. But at the same time, the Eight of Cups is in reverse is also like temporary success. And when I say temporary success, I don't mean that she's going to fall flat because she's a traveler here is what she wants to achieve. Meaning she's out and about and she's making moves in different places and maybe even different states and or different countries. Okay. So she's not going to be stuck in one area. She's making moves in different situations, and that's who she is. That's what she genuinely wants to do. I don't want to be stuck in one city. I don't want to be stuck in one job. I don't want to be stuck in one country or one state. I want to move throughout the world here and do different things, many different things. Not just singing, not just acting. Remember in the beginning of the reading, she's on fire with her creativity. Didn't I say that? And that is exactly what she wants to do. She wants to be creative in different parts of the world, in different areas of her career, not just singing and acting. And that is who she is. The next card we have here is collaborations and networking. This card here represents her inner emotions. And emotions are like feelings, it's like intuition, right? And then we have the judgment. The judgment is in the reverse. Now, in her emotions, in her feelings, intuitively, these two cards here that I'm looking at, it's kind of like Blackpink. She's thinking about Blackpink. Okay. And I feel like these girls here is the members of Blackpink. So in her mind, in her inner emotions, she she doesn't want any blame, right? We have the judgment in reverse, which can mean disappointments and delays with her members of Blackpink. And she does not want to be blamed, nor does she want to blame anybody else in when it comes to the members of Blackpink. Okay. At first, I thought that she wants to collaborate with, other musicians, but no. When the Judgment card came out here, this is about Blackpink, and Blackpink is her family. The network and collaboration card is right underneath the family card. Remember, and we clarified the family card. Remember, with the Two of Cups here. So they are her family. So if anything doesn't work out with her or maybe with all of the girls, Blackpink can still come together. And also in some way, shape, or form, I feel like there's something inside of her that screams to me like she still wanted Blackpink to work out. But in some way, shape, or form, again, it just didn't work out. And it has nothing to do with the members of Blackpink. It's just whatever happened to Blackpink or the people who were in charge of Blackpink, they failed. They failed to, I don't know, maybe face the truth or face the facts, or they failed to come up with something factual. Okay. So in the back of her mind and her emotions and her inner emotions, she still thinks about Blackpink, and she still possibly may want to have a second chance again with Blackpink. But you know, you can't blame anybody here. And if Blackpink doesn't work out, she still can go solo. So her next card here is following God's orders. And now we need to clarify the Four of Pentacles. It's in reverse though. Now, immediately what I see, because the Four of Pentacles is always my business card. So we have following God's orders and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. It's like if business did not work out, it's because it was never meant to work out, right? So there's no hard feelings. There is definitely no hard feelings. But at the same time, these two cards here represent her hopes and her fears. So maybe she was hoping that, you know, business works out, either with Blackpink or doing solo business. But if it doesn't work out, then it wasn't time or it was God's plan. And whatever his plans is, she's okay with that. And following God's orders is that you follow his orders, right? You move how he wants you to move. You go where he wants you to go. You Don't go places where he does not want you to go. Okay? So she's definitely following her higher self or following her higher power, whoever her higher power is, you know? That's who she is taking guidance from. So definitely trusting her intuition on where to go and who to sign with. And maybe her fears is greed. Her fears could be possessiveness. So maybe that's what she's fearing, that she would get caught up with greed and be this this possessive person that she is not. And maybe she's fearing that that energy will kind of take over her, that would make her just sign anything, right? When your possessiveness, when you have materialisms on your mind, and when you are a greedy person, you tend to sign anything just to sign anything to have things. But she's trusting in her higher power, her higher self, that she does not fall into that trap of being very possessiveness and very materialistic, that she just signs anything and goes anywhere. Right? So I hope that makes sense. So now we have her last card, which is her final outcome in this reading. We have the card of jail. Okay? Now let's clarify. Mm, the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is upright. So the Nine of Swords, one of the meanings is imprisonment. And that's exactly what I said when I laid this card down. It's like locking yourself into a bedroom and making yourself a prisoner and just focusing on one thing and one thing only, and which is her next move and which is her career. There is also a negative message within these two cards, but I did give her advice. I did say to her, if nothing ever works out the way that you want it to work out in your solo career, Rosé, remember that you already have a family. You already have group members that you can turn to for help. Okay? Maybe if things doesn't work out, you can go and maybe work with maybe Lisa, maybe work with Jenny. Maybe all of you guys can come together if things don't work out here. But let me clarify one more time. Yeah, we have the Ace of Swords. I mean, the Ace of Wands, which is in reverse. And the Ace of Wands in reverse, it's like a misunderstanding. Misunderstandings, it also can be like delays, or, she really haven't, uh, she doesn't have a solid plan, okay, to start a new journey, to start something brand new with passion. So again, these three cards here is like she's locking herself in the bedroom and she is working out a plan, something creative, a creative plan that has not been lit with fire just yet. But I believe that the Ace of Wands will be upright very, very soon for her. Just the Nine of Swords here is, I don't know, it can be like brainstorming. Not only imprisonment, but can be like worries and even anxieties. And then we have the jail card here, which is exactly like the Nine of Swords. So again, double energy of the Nine of Swords. So in this reading, she is, I guess, brainstorming her ideas, but yet not put into any actions just yet. But she is brainstorming. But if anything doesn't work out, she can still go back to Blackpink. If all members want to do something again, right? So what I see in this reading is that she was let out of the cage and she's now free to do whatever she wants. Okay. I see her doing other things as far as solo, but I have a feeling, I mean, just by looking at her reading, I have a feeling that somewhere down the line there will be some renewal in Blackpink. Okay. Now I'm not gonna make that predictions a, a real predictions, but somewhere down the line you could hear or see a return of Blackpink. Only because maybe these girls are doing solo things and they're just not liking what they're seeing, or they're not liking what the offer here is. Or maybe they do take the offer and they fulfill their offers. But there's something about these cards here that's coming off of Rosé, of something about Blackpink re-emerging. Okay, so that's what I see in her reading. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you next time.